Hi everyone, Daniel here, the creator of the relationship model of addiction. I'm going to continue talking to you about the 51-49% factor applied. This is the key mystery secret to developing the art, the key to mastering the art of relating in intimacy. And so this may be, these talks may be a little bit theoretical or conceptual, but just remember that they're meant to be practiced after you understand them. And today I want to focus mostly on the 49% factor, because I've been focusing mostly on the 51%, and the 49 is, I don't want to lose sight of that. That's as important as the 51%. So just to go through the basic steps here to get to this point, you get to apply the 51-49% factor is best applied after you pass through stage 1 of recovery, and that is after you've developed a relationship with yourself. That is really that's the prerequisite. And what does that mean? Just simply, what it means is that you're dialed in, you're aware of what's going on inside of you, what you're thinking, what you're feeling, what you're wanting at any given point in time, and so you can represent your experience accurately. It also means that you are responsible for your own self-care. You have your source of well-being, self-worth, feeling good, feeling loved, feeling accepted, feeling worthy. All of that is internally based. You are responsible. You are the caretaker of yourself. So you're not looking for the other person to take care of you. Your well-being and self-worth is not externally based. It's internally based. And then another aspect of having a relationship with yourself is that you are honoring yourself all the time. And it becomes second nature. Whenever you're relating, you're coming from a center. You're self-centered, you're honoring yourself, you're holding yourself as sacred. Now, as you do that, you'll be able to, that is what having a relationship with yourself means. So that 51% is, the 51-49% factor, again, has to do with the optimal balance in a relationship. In every relationship, there are two relationships, the one with yourself and the one with other. And the idea of the 51-49% factor is that you're holding your relationship with yourself as a little bit bigger piece of the relationship pie. But that leaves over 49% for the other person. This is where the 49% area, and if you look at the circle, it's still pretty much half the circle is where the relationship with other is. That's where the magic happens. That's where the love happens. That's where the intimacy happens. That is where you derive the nourishment that you need to grow yourself and to have a fulfilling life and feel great and connected in the world. It's that 49%. So think of it as saturation, like you're a sponge. And if you're 51%, if your relationship with yourself is too high, you're going to be oversaturated. And you're going to have less attention, love, caring, energy, interest to put on the other person. You're oversaturated when you're too much, overly caught up with yourself. You're going to have less available space to receive from the other, because you're going to be filled up with yourself. You're going to be oversaturated, and you're not going to be able to absorb any more coming in from the other person. And you're also, you're not going to have as much going out either. You're not going to, because as that number of 51 goes up, the other number, the 49%, goes down, and you're going to be giving less of yourself to the other person. And so the other person will be receiving less. Then also on the other side, the other person will be receiving less from you. Then if you look at it the other way, if that number goes down and you're more other-centered, so in other words, that 51 is going down and the 49% is rising up, what you're going to be doing is that you're going to be codepending the other person or enabling the other person, fostering dependence on you, and not for them to be doing the same thing you're doing, to be taking care of themselves, to have their well-being and self-worth being internally based. So you're going to be fostering and creating kind of an objectified relationship, as opposed to one in which two selves, two separate autonomous entities come together, two separate selves, the A and the B come together to create a C. It's not going to be happening, because it's going to be two, you're not going to be present enough, you're not going to be absorbent enough, and the other person's going to be, without you, too much of themselves, and fostering the dependence on you to in the relationship. It's not going to work. So that is where the 49%, it's you want to be able to have the maximal amount of your pure love, energy, caring, connectivity going out to the other person, and you want to be able to absorb the receive. This is also, that 49% is what you have going out, and it's the space for you to receive. So I hope this makes sense. Please, if this isn't clear, or you have more questions about it, feel free to call me, or write them down, and I'll respond to it, because I understand this is kind of heady. It can be heady and intellectual. So again, this is about having your relationship with yourself become second nature, and when you're relating and in a relationship, really be cognizant and mindful of this 51-49% factor, which is the optimal balance for an intimate relationship. This is where the magic happens. It's the closer you are to that balance, the more love and intimacy you're going to have in your life, and the better your relationships are going to go. So I want to leave you with today a different thought for you to kind of put in your cap and digest, and that is, your awareness is your power, and your emotions are your gift.